Remembrance Day is observed on the 11th of November to recall the end of the First World War hostilities. Hostilities ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. We here at the unofficial BSHL Podcast would like to take a moment to honor all of those who served and remember those who made the greatest sacrifice for our freedoms. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends, lest we forget. Now here's your favorite hosts, the Coreys.
Hello and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast. I'm your host, Corey, joined by my co-host, Corey.
Are you sick, Corey?
I'm a little under the weather. Thanks, Adam, for that very special intro this week.
Very beautiful.
I know growing up, my great-grandfather passed away when I was very young. And the great-grandfather that I grew up knowing was my great-grandmother's second husband. And he actually served in the World Wars. And never talked about it. But, Remembrance Day is always going to be a day where I remember him and remember everybody that made those sacrifices for us to have the freedoms that we have.
Yep, absolutely. Happy Remembrance Day.
So, Corey, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. We've got Tracy's Zamboni review coming up later on in the episode. As she prefers to call it now, Tracy's Boney reviews. Okay, cheese bags. What do you got to start the episode, Corey?
The games of the week. Here we go.
Right.
On Friday, Miramichi makes the trip to the peninsula. Puck drop is 8 o'clock. No games on Saturday. So guess who's going to be staying home on Saturday? These guys.
All of us. Yeah, we're sleeping.
Sunday, 2 games. Dalhousie will be in Elsie Puck Duck. 5:30 will be that game. That's a can't miss game. The Peninsula, they will be making that trip to Bucktouche. 6:45 will be that game. And gotta imagine there's some bad blood after that last game. And a very rare Monday game, 2 p.m. start. Bucktouche will make the trip to Amherst.
Yeah, great games this weekend. Not a lot of them, but they're all going to be some really good games, in my opinion.
Yeah.
When you were talking to Jacques Cormier, he said he was going to be available for both games this weekend, so he'll be making the trip to Amherst with the JCs. Patrice, sorry.
Listen, you're not to be blamed. Looking at my notes here. I am glad I caught myself. For the Monday game, I wrote Bucktouche and Dalhousie. So you're not the only one missing up here.
Yeah, it's rough. But yeah, no, I think Patrice Cormier being on the road with the JCs, that's always awesome to see. He's really bought in. He's having a lot of fun, It seems like.
Yeah, so. It's awesome. So we got to talk about something, and I am taking full responsibility for this one.
Okay.
So if anybody has any complaints, send them my way. Did a little flub. I will blame the website a little bit. Could you put down forward, defenseman, goalie so we can see what they are? For our players of the week, we excluded Alex Bernier, the Miramichi Northman, who had 4 points this weekend. So the graphic isn't out yet, but we unfortunately have to take one name out to put Alex Bernier in. And unfortunately, Francis Thibault is being dropped as one of the players of the week and being replaced with Alex Bernier. Bernier had 4 points. Miles Clements, the other defenseman, had 1 goal, 1 assist. Thibault had 2 assists. So my apologies for that one. All on me.
Yeah, it happens, man. It's hard to... The website gets confusing. Like you said, forward, defense, everything's not there. And it's just been really slow this year for whatever reason. It's been a pretty crappy user experience for everybody. I've heard that from a few different people.
Yep.
We're looking forward to this someday. Let's talk about something that's a little bit controversial. I'm happy. I love the league this year. The league's phenomenal. It's it's competitive.
Yep.
It's not the local senior hockey that a lot of people love.
No.
It's kind of like a semi-pro league almost, and it's great for what it is.
Yep.
But conversations that I've had with a lot of people, a lot of big senior hockey fans, is what happens in the future?
That's the $1 million question, because for the time being, it's great. We got former NHLers. We got former superstars of the Q. We got university superstars. And that's all well and good. When
Podcast superstars?
Podcast superstars. I'm
There we
looking
go.
at you, big
Thank
boss,
you.
because
Thank you.
I ain't no superstar. The thing is, in a few years, when a lot of these superstars no longer are playing, do we get a downgrade? Do the fans accept the downgrade? You know what I mean? It's
even before
hockey.
even before that, can teams sustain this long term?
Exactly.
Is this a 1-year thing where we're going to have this great hockey this year, and I'm enjoying it? I think we're all enjoying it. Can teams continue to function and run with costs being this high? Still to be seen. I'm a little worried about it personally. I love senior hockey. I want to see senior hockey next year and the year after, and for all eternity.
I am too, but here's the thing. 2 years ago, before this podcast existed, we had that same problem. We had that same question. The next year, the league got bigger. We still had that question. The league got bigger. And now we're at a point where, I'm going to quote Corey here and say, we got a mini ECHL league right in our backyard.
Yeah, the problem is, though, like with 5 junior A cards, plus import cards, plus other things that certain teams have, I don't know. I'm just concerned about the feasibility of running it for a smaller team that doesn't have a ton of capital.
Mm-hmm.
I just worry about if the team can keep up long term. I think about like a team like Elspukduk. They don't have a huge arena. They sell pretty well, though, most games. Pretty crowded, but it ebbs and flows. 50-50 there is pretty good, but it's not Miramichi good. Let's just say that. I just worry if the teams have to spend so much money to remain competitive. Do we continue to see these same teams, and how do we convince other teams to come in? How do you start up a team and come into the league like this without that history, without that background, and be competitive? You probably come in and just get stomped on for the first year or two. And then what do your fans think of it? Like, I just, there's a lot of aspects of it that I've spent way too much time thinking about. And I worry about, like, cause in my life, I've seen, many senior leagues come and many senior leagues go.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen a senior league with this much skill, and it's enjoyable. And I love it. I just worry about the feasibility in the years to come with the league, how it is today.
I kind of look at the different legacy teams, I guess we could say. Rishabukdo, LC, they've had a team there for years, at different points in time. I'm sure some years there was no team. Buckdouche, same thing. Amherst has always had a team, or close to that anyway.
Yeah, not necessarily always. There's definitely been more gaps there, but hopefully there's a great hockey fan base in Amherst, the Spring Hill area. So,
but Miramichi, there was the Phantoms, and now they're the Northmen. In the peninsula, not only Shippagan and Tracadie, but
you've had teams in Lamech, teams in Neguac in the past. Yeah. There's always been a lot of senior hockey there. Dalhousie's always been around, and there's been some other teams around Dalhousie as well.
My point in this is, I think fans of those areas, like these legacy teams, like these legacy areas, once a team goes back there, I think there's a certain amount of support that they will get because of nostalgia and all that. Now, let's just say, what's a city like? Let's just say,
are we looking for a team that's never had a team, or one that hasn't had one in a while?
A place that's never had a team. If you've never had a team, it's hard to get going.
It's hard because when you think about most of the teams, most cities have had senior hockey, right? Like Memram Cook had the Acadians a few years ago. There was always teams out Capelé area, the BSHL, the Navigators in Bay St. Anne. So most areas have had some, but if they ever wanted to restart a team, and obviously the River Valley Lumberjacks just last year, if you ever wanted to start that back up, with the exception of River Valley, I would say, because their fan base is still going to be there. It hasn't been that long. I think it would be hard to start back up. And like, I think about, okay, a team like Bay St. Anne, who always historically had a team. There's always been hockey in Bay St. Anne. I remember going to Bay St. Anne, man. Those were some rough guys. There's some good hockey, fun, old-time hockey. I don't know if they could compete in that area right now. And that kind of sucks a little bit, in a way, for me. Or Lamech. I don't know if Lamech could compete if they put another team there.
Well, I guess that's one of the reasons why Shippigan and Trackety merged.
Yep.
That's $1 million question. That's a great point of discussion. Chime in, everybody. Leave a comment. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, what happens in the future for the BSHL? What do you want to see happen next year, the year after? I think there's going to be a restructuring in the coming years. We don't know what that's going to look like, and I hope all the teams stick around because, I don't know, there's just something special about going to Shippigan, something special about going to a game in Rishabakto.
Yeah.
Other than seeing Travis, I always love going to Dalhousie. It's like these are all great sounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Corey just agrees. He's like, I was coughing and I didn't hear your rip on Travis.
I heard you rip on Travis. I just accept it now.
I love it. I don't know. We'll see. It's just an interesting conversation piece that's been in my mind, especially when I'm driving back and forth to work. We have picks to make, Corey?
Well, we'll save the picks for a little later. Let's first up, let's talk about what our pick is for game of the weekend.
Last week. For games, I can only say for games I was at. I don't think it's that close. Bucktush, Miramichi was phenomenal. The comeback by Miramichi, the drama with Vautour and the net being off, and then the OT winner by Bucktush. Crowd went crazy. A lot of Miramichi fans there, so there was a lot of cheering when Miramichi was coming back.
Yeah.
That was a fun game. Felt like playoff hockey.
Yeah, I talked with a few fans, and a lot of fans that I talked with said, oh, LC and Dalhousie. I'm like, were you there? They were like, no. Well, how is that if you didn't see it? Yeah. I'm sure it was a great game. I'll give it an honorable mention. It was a great game, absolutely.
I'm
sure we'll give it an honorable mention. We can't give our opinions on it. We weren't there. There was no footage of it, nothing. So our pick, like Corey said, the OT win, Bucktush versus Miramichi 7-6. So with that being said, we're going to go into who are the goals leader, points leader, D-man point leader, and the goalie wins. So starting off, goals leader is once again from the Peninsula, Luke Williams with 7 goals.
Had a quiet weekend this past weekend, but I'm sure he'll spark back up this coming weekend. There's 2 games for the Coastal this weekend, so should be interesting.
He is being joined. So he is not the sole leader. He is being joined by the JC's Logan Timmins.
Man, Timmins has been consistently good this year. Seems like he's getting a goal almost every game. How many games played do the JCs have right now? Like 8, 7?
Let's see. Give me 1 second. If I can find it here. The JCs have 7. You are correct.
So 7 games played, 7 goals for Logan Timmins. I know that he's not the favorite guy for the other teams. I think he's kind of a pest to play against. He gets into those dirty areas. You see Timmins in the corner. You see him in front of the net. He's that kind of player. I love watching him, though. And, man, 7 goals. Hell of a start to the season for Timmins.
Yep. Our forwards points leader, we are in a 3-way tie. So Luke Williams of the Peninsula, once again. Logan Timmins as well. Has 9 points as well. And Miramichi's Bryce Milson, all with 9 points.
Milson's healthy this year. and it makes a difference. Holy. Yeah, a lot of talent in those top three.
Absolutely. Bryce, like I said with the game on Sunday, Bryce Milson and Josh Russell have to be my two favorite Miramichi Northmen.
Yeah. Something about the way they play.
Yep. Defenseman. The sole leader in points, Alex Bernier, with 6 points, all assists, no goals yet, but 6 points nonetheless.
That's impressive. So
just think about this. Think about this. 4 of those 6 points came this
last weekend. Yeah, which made him fly past Danik Crate.
Yeah.
Because the Hawks only played 1 game this weekend. And it's a long season. We know there's going to be a battle back and forth, but man, some talented defensemen in this league.
Mm-hmm. And finally, the goalies win. He adds 1, Alex Collette, with 5 wins.
Colette's off to a hell of a start. Congrats to Zach LeBlanc again for getting his first win on Sunday. This was a rough weekend for goalies. A lot of high-scoring games both ways. But, when you're facing 60 shots plus, it's impressive for Cox. Great goaltenders. And hopefully they get a little bit of a break this weekend.
Yeah. So now we are at what Corey's been waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
Our picks for the weekend.
I've never been so excited to make picks in my life. Let's go.
All right.
What's our records?
Our records, my record right now is 7-11. Corey's record is 13-5.
Sounds beautiful. Carry on.
So, game 1, Miramichi in the Peninsula.
This is a hard one for me. Miramichi is becoming that tough team to play on the road. Mm-hmm. They haven't won on the road yet. They're right on the verge, though. I think this is a Miramichi win.
Miramichi, I'm going with the Peninsula. So, game 2 on Sunday, Dalhousie in Elsipogtog.
Dalhousie lost to Elsipogtog last weekend. I think Dalhousie loses again on Sunday. I have Elsipogtog in this one. You're welcome, Travis. I'm not going to curse you.
I also have Elsipogtog. So there you go. You're welcome, Travis. I didn't curse you because I am the kiss of death this year. The Peninsula in Bucktouche.
I think this is where the mighty JCs finally fall. I have the Cossard on the road winning in Bucktouche.
I also have
all right. I think the JCs are a great team. I think teams are going to start gunning for them. Yeah. So you're going to start seeing really good road teams from these other, like the Peninsula. They're going to go into there with a good lineup, I bet. So I think Corsair take it.
Yeah. Final game of the week, Bucktouche makes the trip to Amherst on Monday.
Amherst still hasn't lost at home.
Yes.
I think they didn't lose at home yet.
No.
They beat LC and they beat Dalhousie opening night. So they only had 2 home games. I think Amherst wins this one on home ice.
I have Bucktouche.
I think that's a safe bet. I just think that it's inevitable that Bucktouche is going to lose one of these games, so I'm going to start picking the other team, and then I'm going to look like a genius.
Or you can, you can
try to catch up to you.
2 wins here.
I'm fine with it.
So the pick so far. To. So for game 1, I have the Peninsula. Corey has the Miramichi. We both have LC over Dalhousie. We both have the Peninsula over Bucktouche. I have Bucktouche. Corey has Amherst.
There it is. We know the Bucktouche is going to have a good lineup on Monday too. So pack that rink, energize your Ducks because good God, I don't want to lose a game to Corey.
I'm the current champion, so I've already won.
A little bit of rivalry.
A little bit a friendly one. I hope you win just because you're my best friend.
That's fair. I don't blame you. Do we have anything else this week, Corey? Are we going to the Zamboni review?
Well, before that, what games will we be at?
Let's come back and talk about it. Let's throw the Zamboni review and then come back.
All right.
We're going to get to Tracy's Zamboni review right now. And let's throw that right now. Enjoy.
Have fun.
Start your engines. Did you hear the news? It's time for Tracy's Zamboni reviews.
All right, we're back. Tracy's Zamboni review. She's literally looking at me like she's so confident right now. All right, let's hear it. Tracy, how was your weekend of games? You were a little under the weather at the start of the weekend.
Yes. A lot going on at work.
Yeah.
Just needed some time at home. So I watched the live stream Friday.
Yep. From Ship Again.
Yes.
How was
it? It was good. For the most part, I do want to shout out the live stream Boney crew, as I'm calling them now. Adam Story, Corbin Nevin. I don't know if Corbin knows that he's part of the Boney crew, but he is now.
All right, welcome, Corbin.
Yes, welcome. First intermission because I wasn't watching the warm up.
Who recorded the Zambonis for you, Corey or my mom?
Corey first.
Corey the first intermission, my mom the second.
No, I think Cheryl. No, maybe Cheryl first and Corey second.
I'm not sure. No, Corey sat in the second for sure. He said his legs were sore.
Yeah.
My mom does enjoy a good Zamboni recording.
She's good at it. I appreciate her.
College skills. My sister's good at it too.
Oh yeah,
College
yeah.
skills,
She's, I mean, she's good. So first intermission, the helper guy. I noticed him immediately.
Yeah.
He was ready. He was like, "Let's go."
You think he listens to the podcast and that's why?
I mean, I don't know. I hope so.
Possible.
But he was already pulling the nets over to the side before the players were even off the ice. Like, he was, like, in the midst. I was like, careful, helper guy. Zamboni driver, good pace. It was during this time that the internet went a little shoddy.
Everybody was getting on to check their Facebooks.
Exactly. So the image of the Boney looked a little bit like I was back in 1997 using dial-up. I am that old.
Napster.
Yeah. 3 days to download a song. But then it went back to strong LTE, possibly 5G, but before the chip. So this is also, they were in Ship Again. You were in Ship Again. This is where Zamboni driver drops his load before getting off the ice.
Yes.
Yeah, so he did it again.
He dropped the load?
He dropped the load.
He does a little spinneroo to get to that side door, too.
That was my next note.
Okay.
Get out of my phone.
Sorry.
Then he dropped, the snow at the door again, and helper guy shoveled it. Second intermission, same thing. Helper guy there.
Right at it.
He's
almost knocking Bezos out of the way to get onto the ice.
Right?
That's impressive.
He was seventh player? Man.
Seventh player.
Yes. Let's pretend like I know.
Seventh player's the fan.
Eighth player. Yes, he was
nice.
there. There was like 5 seconds left on the clock. He's like shuffling
Open
across
the door.
the ice.
Let's get it going.
Yeah. Again, consistent flood. And then there was buffering again, but not so much buffering, but the Zamboni would jump forward.
Oh.
So it's like when you're illegally
Teleporting.
Or illegally streaming a movie online. But yes, let's go with
5
teleporting.
seconds.
Yeah.
Always skips the nude scenes. I hate that. Carry on.
You say that, and I'm about ready to talk about Votor, so I'm like, ooh. According to Corey Votor, who is our live stream king, himself, but the Zamboni driver missed a spot. So as we all know, that's an automatic star deduction.
Yeah.
So overall, 4 to
star.
5.
4 star. No bonus points for dumping his load?
No, he does it consistently, so it's not.
all right.
It's not a thing
To be
anymore.
expected. I got it. So Sunday was the next game, but Saturday, Travis
Whoa,
sent us.
whoa!
Sorry.
This is my Boney review.
I know. my
Don't
bad.
get ahead of me
I'm the host.
because I switched back and forth between the podcast live stream and Roxanne Merrill Young stream
Of course.
in Miramichi, and holy lifting, as my Carleton County brethren would say. There was a lot of ice, or sorry, there was a lot of ice. There was a lot of ice in that ring. There was a lot of water
Yeah.
coming out of that Zamboni. When helper guy was shoveling, because Roxanne was near the Zamboni door, it looked like a damn pina colada being thrown across the way. Oh, words. What's today? But anyway, that's how slushy it was. Now, moving on to Saturday, we were celebrating our friend.
Yeah, wedding. We went to the wedding.
But we did get some insider information
Yeah.
that
Do we want to say who it's from, or is that's?
I
just
think
not-
you already said it, but I was going to go
Oh,
with
the Travis
insider.
thing?
I need to write you a script. So
Yeah,
you
it would
know
help.
what's
I
happening.
don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
So Dalhousie, our insider, sent us a
the
picture.
former
The unknown insider
Boney driver.
sent us a picture of was it ice scraped? Was it just a patch mist? I don't remember.
I don't know. Your phone's horrible, so I couldn't really tell what it was.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Anyway, so that's unfortunate, but it happens.
Yes.
Sunday we were in Bucktouche.
Yes, we were.
Do you have any comments about the speed that Zamboni goes? Because holy lifting, to quote Roxanne again.
Let me. I closed out my notes. Yes, we were. Not really a lot of comment on the speed. It did seem like there was a fair bit of water coming out, but it was still a decent flood. I didn't notice any spots missed from where I was sitting. I didn't notice that it goes any faster than.
It's so slow. Oh my god, it's slow now.
Okay. I was like, what?
It's so slow.
That's why it felt like I zoned out, and then it was still like half the.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was just me.
that's terrible. It was slow.
But what I can tell you,
Yeah.
I noticed during the first intermission that it was cold as hell in there.
Yeah, it was chilly in there. That day.
Not nearly as cold as Doketown,
Yeah.
but much colder than the JK normally is.
Agreed.
My notes say they had a good pace. First intermission.
The cat is climbing onto you right now. Oh, I've got a cough. We're trying here, folks. What are you gonna do?
Maybe there's edits. I don't know.
Probably not. We're just gonna let it go.
Why not? But yeah, the cold I could not like
Explain?
I was not prepared to go to a cold rink. I did not wear the proper cold rink items. And so my mind started to wander.
The cat really wants to get up right now. So should the cat? Let's be honest here, folks. When the cat wants to get up, the cat gets up.
Oh yes.
Mao, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome. Can you hear?
No.
So anyway, I thought to myself, am I too short for a long coat? Because a long coat might be nice in a rink, like a blanket.
So for you, that long coat would basically go to your ankle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, 'cause
It'd
you're
be a
short.
nightgown.
You're a little
Not like Corey Vautour's Scrooge McDuck nightgown,
No,
but still
similar.
like a nightgown.
Similar.
Yeah. Zamboni driver did miss a spot.
Huh?
So
4 to 5.
Yeah. And there's like this, I don't know if it's an older Zamboni that they have, but it has this wheel that they have to turn, and the clicking was so loud. Like there is a good number of people in that JK this season, but I could hear it clear as day.
Click, click, click.
Yep, that's what it was. Second intermission, I warmed up a little bit. My brain started. And I noticed that helper guy, unlike a lot of other places, they're on skates.
Yeah.
Just
They're younger fellas too.
woo. Well, I wasn't looking at their face.
They were celebrating. They were celebrating by going woo.
Yes, I was skating around.
Just so you know, folks, she's doing a lot of arm motions to explain how it goes, and this is a podcast, so well,
It's,
she's been around me long enough. She's a little bit French, so she does that hand
right?
talking.
They make fun of me at work too. Whatever. So, okay. So by your reaction, it's always that way. Does
They have two
Halper-
Zambonis. So they have an older Zamboni and a newer Zamboni, which is like bang, bang, bang. And in Bucktouche, they always have, for the most part at JC's games lately, they have a guy on skates now.
So does he wear them during the period?
No, I mean,
Does he
it
take
takes
them off?
Yeah, it takes like a couple minutes to put on some skates.
Ugh.
You know, most players, a lot of players at least, take off their skates during intermission.
Yeah, but they're probably used to it.
This guy probably plays hockey somewhere.
Well, I suppose. My footwear,
Yeah.
none of my footwear has laces, so
You're already
sounds
prepared
me.
for retirement.
That's it, eh? Not Velcro. I don't have Velcro on my
Soon.
Probably. So anyway, after I realized that, guess what was playing? Shaboodi.
Oh, Shabuzi?
Yes.
You like that song?
I call it Shaboodi. Also, on this Zamboni, I noticed that there were canisters. Is it what's in those canisters?
Somebody can come back to us
Propane?
with that information.
Are they
Travis.
go
Go back and watch the live stream, Travis.
barbecuing?
Somebody.
barbecuing
Mark
during
Betts?
the periods?
Anybody will do.
And then there was what it looked like a diesel stack, like on a transport on the side. And I was just waiting for it to like boop boop.
Didn't?
Anyway, it did not. And there's no hidey hole in this bony. But didn't notice any missed spots. So overall, 4 to 5.
4 to 5.
Yeah.
Good flood.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming out to some games. And where are you going to be this weekend? Do you know yet?
No.
Not Trackety.
Wherever the wind takes me.
Not Trackety because you always find you don't like the cold drinks.
No, my body doesn't. I come back. My manager at work, because I've taken on a second project. She's like, "Oh, I know. Last winter you were sick a fair bit. What can we do differently? Because you're going to be, working a lot and under a lot of pressure." And I said, "Well, the first thing I'm doing is going to less hockey games."
Is she aware that we have a podcast?
Oh, very much so.
Nice. Thank you, Kelly.
Yes.
We appreciate the support.
I don't know if she listens, but she's aware.
Being aware and listening is the same thing to me. Man, that cat is all over the mic. I love it.
Yep.
She wants to be on this episode. So this weekend we're going to be in Trackety, hopefully on Friday, depending on how we're feeling. We're a little under the weather. Saturday, no games. Sunday, Bucktouche and Elsie, a little bit of both. Monday, 2 p.m., Amherst. So hopefully we'll get out to a game this weekend.
Yes, absolutely. And I believe I read that Amherst is going to do a
Remembrance Day thing, right?
Remembrance Day ceremony or activity there. So if you're able to, after you go to the cenotaph and have your moment of silence, come out and support your local Ducks. And you might see us.
Some of us are going to be there for sure.
Yeah.
And if you can't get there, check out the live stream.
Yeah.
Mao, do you have anything to add to that? You heard it here first, folks. All right. Thanks for being here, Tracy. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Bye. All right, cheese bags. We're back.
I'm so
Corey,
fresh. I'm a cheese bag.
You look like a douchebag, but you are a cheese bag. Just kidding. I love you, buddy. So what was your question that you asked just before we
What
went to
games
Zamboni?
are we going to be going to this weekend? Because usually on Sundays we split up. I believe I will be doing the entire game in LC Puck Duck.
You're doing the whole game in LC. I'm starting the night in LC. I'll probably be there for the first couple periods, maybe a little longer. We'll see how it goes. I'll make my way to Bucktouche at some point and try to get out of there before the crowd gets crazy. You're going to stay with the mic and do some interviews from either Dalhousie or Elsie. So we're looking forward to seeing that. I don't know. It depends if, hold on, Rusty's.
One of the questions here is, are we going to be somewhere on Friday?
I mean, I think I'm probably going to try to make my way to Trackety. It'll depend how I'm feeling though. I think and I kind of mentioned this in the Zamboni review, but we're all a little bit under the weather right now.
Yeah.
Tracadie's a cold rink, brutally cold. So,
I think the last time I've been in the rink in Tracadie would have been Game 7.
Game 7, yeah, same here. So I don't know. I think we're going to try to make the way down. If we don't get there, it's because we're definitely under the weather.
Yeah.
Sunday, we're both going to be in Elsie. I'm going to leave a little bit before you do, but not too much before you, and make my way to Bucktush. You'll meet me in Bucktush after the Elsie game. Same old there. And
a rare Monday game, we can't miss that.
We can't miss that. I'm excited about that one. That's going to be fun. Rare Monday game and a rare early afternoon game.
2 o'clock. It's going to be
really
so
excited
good.
about that.
We're going to finish the game, go out for dinner or something.
Probably, yep. And we'll be able to leave for that game at 11 in the morning or something, 10:30.
Yep.
That's just a cool one. I'm really looking forward to that. Thanks to the Ducks and JC's for playing a game that early on a holiday. It's a special one for fans, so I hope they pack that rink.
I hope so.
That's the plan. So the answer, what game are we going to be at? All the games this weekend if we can. Inevitably the weather's going to turn worse. We want to get to as many games as we can before that happens. So when the weather's crappy, we can stay home, because a dead podcast is not a good podcast. So
there were a few games that you gotta give credit to Cheryl. I know you don't like doing this, but you gotta her driving skills are pretty good, because we drove to Dalhousie in snowstorms, more than one.
We drove back from Dalhousie in snowstorms.
Yeah,
the weather seemed for Dalhousie last year, and Cheryl deserves all the credit in the world. She's really a good driver in the snow for sure. She's very cautious, but we drove there, sunny, beautiful. Get to Dalhousie, couple snowflakes before the game, come out, storm. It's like, what just happened? We almost stopped in Bathurst one time because we were like, I don't know, this is getting greasy. But if we can avoid some of that this year, that's the plan. But we're also just really addicted to going to stupid hockey games. It's just something to be said about the level of addiction that we have, I think.
Now, the games aren't stupid, Corey.
No, our addiction is stupid.
Horrible.
Our addiction is stupid.
Yeah, our diction.
Fuck. Man, Corey's been a pain in my ass all week. He's in rare form. Some people get the man flu. Corey gets the be a pain in Corey's ass flu. Jeez. I just ate my own words. That was a struggle.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm leaving it in.
People only had to hear you. I had to see you. You remember, the buffering sign?
Yeah.
I had to see the.
On that note, we're going to call it a podcast. Corey, thanks for being here. I always enjoy having you on with me, you jerk.
Yeah, well, I'm a jerk.
It's a good episode. It was a lot of fun. Thanks to Tracy for doing the Zamboni review. Thanks to Adam Story for the intro. And thanks to all of you for listening and tuning into our live streams. I can say right now, we won't be live on Friday in Tracadie. No. Zero chance. That's just the hardest rink to live stream in. There's no connection. So we'll try to get some highlights up ASAP after the game, but we won't be live from that game, unfortunately. So, Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks everyone for your support. Corey, we'll see you Friday night.
Take care.
See you soon.